All right, so it's another 3 inches of snow today. I got Timothy pushing. Dad is working down at the hay pile. A little issue with the trailer on the Mac. That flatbed's got 2 lights that are out. Tim's gonna work on those. We do have Sir Grant in here. And what he's doing is he is changing the eyelets out on those down below. You see these? They become sharp. And this is where they go into the eyelet, and that's where they come out of the eyelet. And that you could shave with. So it's no big deal as long as you're still pounding bales through it, because it's stroking about every you know, it's stroking just about every stroke. There's twine coming through it, and it doesn't go back and cut it off. But when you come to the end of a windrow, it starts to cut on that, because it takes, I don't know, 4 or 5 baler strokes before it gets to, before you get into new straw or hay, and then it'll cut it off, and then your string breaks. And I've turned them. This one here is back to being sharp. I mean, I think they're all pretty sharp. How are they looking down there? This one is too. Normally we just turn them.
Some are looking pretty bad.
They're bad, yeah.
Yeah, some are, some
Yeah. They're not hard to change. They're not hard to change, and another thing is they'll actually break that spring when they get sharp too, because they will actually create a pressure on it, and that's what snaps them. So I've noticed that when the eyelets are worn, that I seem to have more broken springs. So they're not expensive. A lot of this stuff isn't expensive, and it doesn't get expensive until you've bought a lot of it. And that's just the fun thing about owning balers or any of these other things, is that, you know, all in all, each piece isn't really that expensive until you put them all together. Then it equals like 15,000 bucks. So here's the snowman. So how long were you pushing?
Started at 2:30. Done around 7.
Yeah. I figured, I woke up this morning, it was snowing. I said, fuck it, I ain't going.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is pull this roller off of here.
Right.
And see how it's all bent up in there?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to, I don't care how you do it, whether you weld a nut to it and then put a piece of steel and draw it back up, or slide hammer it. Yeah, you could do that. He's changing the eyelets and stuff in here.
You want it off here, or you want me to...
Oh, well, this has all got to come off anyway, because we got to take this, we're going to take the header apart and rebuild it.
Yeah, we're going to do the bearings too.
Yeah, the bearings, I got the new bearings. Now that's full of grease in there, so yeah, so you're going to do that. I'm going to take that load of hay and get that out of the way. Dad's pushing it off, but yeah, just this stuff. I think that
You want me to do this, or you want me to work on welding those pieces and stuff?
which pieces? Oh, you can do that. Yeah. No, I'm just giving you other things. When you're done with what you're gonna do, then start on this. He can take it apart. Get him going in that.
Yeah, this whole thing got to be gutted so we can weld those pieces in, right?
Yes, it's all got to come apart, because we're going to change the transmission and everything.
Yeah.
So that has to, you got to torch those off of there or cut those off. And I ordered the mag drill, and you know what the bit was? 240 bucks for that fucker.
Break.
I'll kill whoever breaks it. If I break it, I can't kill myself. You ain't touching it. Anyway, no, it's here at Trafax Command, I deem traffic. Lots of it. What a pain in the ass. There was a car over here on the right-hand side that lost its left front wheel. I still haven't seen it yet, so I probably crossed over the medium and ended up over on the other side. Or this truck had something to do with it too. I don't know. He's feeling the pain. Still running against the wind. Now, anyway, things are moving a little bit now. Driving and filming. Right, Will? Right, Will? Yeah, he's just Doing William stuff. Doing William stuff? Okay, gotta put all this clunk in this thing. Alright, so it's life in the fast lane. Due to further inspection of this baler, we have really not found anything that was alarming at all, you know, because sometimes last year I found some alarming things. And we repaired them. We got them to where they needed to be, and, you know, such is life. That's the way it works, you know. It's like, well, okay, here's my initial inspection. This is what I think could possibly go wrong. This is what is going wrong. This is what I don't want to go wrong. And we, you know, trudge through, and that's that, you know. So we did go over the baler pretty intently yesterday. Cody did weld some pieces in. There was a really high wear area at the end of the rails where the hay and straw come out the sides of when it comes up into comes out of the pre-charge chamber and up into the bale chamber. The hay will actually come to the sides where the rollers go, and there's I'd say about that much room, you know, maybe a foot, 2 foot of room there where that hay and straw can actually go out the sides, and then when the plunger hits it, it actually has to tuck it back into the bale. And if you've ever seen these bales out in a field or in a stack, you'll see a distinct line, and it doesn't matter which manufacturer it is, whether it's New Holland or, you know, Case New Holland or Heston, Massey Ferguson, Krone, John Deere, Krone Deere, Kuhn Deere, and of course the Krone. Well, Krone has a really neat forcing cone. So it's tapered like so, and then there's a flat piece that angles around where that hay actually slams into and is pressed into formation like the rest of the bale. When the bale comes out, you'll see that there's a bump, maybe a quarter to a half an inch, and there's a lot of wear there. I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of wear there. So we were looking at it, and the one side had worn pretty well through. It's like, holy shit, I can see daylight there. So no big deal. It structurally doesn't affect anything, but if it's neglected, it could really cause an issue. Now, the thickness of that steel isn't really thick. It might be 3/16, might even be an eighth of an inch to 3/16 of an inch. You know, it's in that range. I guess I could measure it and give you an exact number. But so the one side, the left side of the baler, that's where it was pretty well. It was thin. The weld was all that was left, where they welded it into the cone and where they welded the piece of flat. That was no longer there. So we just basically, I had Cody stick another piece in there. It was 3/16 of an inch thick, and it went right in. So it's going to wear again. You know, we got 50,000 more bales to go through this baler, I would think. These balers, once they get over, any baler, whether it's New Holland, Heston, Case, John Deere, Kuhn Deere, whatever you want to call them, once they get over a certain bale count, the value of the baler drops significantly. The reason they drop significantly is because, you know, not everybody does the maintenance work on these things like I do. You're watching my channel here. Now, I'm not saying that every farmer neglects their equipment, but if you're running a fleet of these balers, say for, you know, Pacific Ag runs a lot of Krone balers. And Pacific Ag is a very large baling company. I would love to grow to 1/10 the size of what Pacific Ag is. I would be quite happy. It would be great to run 10 of these balers and just slam out any material we could get through. Leave 2 balers here at the farm and the other 8 go out and do whatever, you know, whether it's straw and or whatever. So, you know, we have those ideas, you know, and that's where I would like to take this company, you know, this farm in that direction. I don't know if it'll ever happen like that, but if you put your nose to the grindstone, like I obviously have, and now you put your nose to the grindstone, you can make anything possible. Anything is possible with enough work. You know, is it worth it to run a baler that you're contracting material through for 100,000 bales? More than likely not. I would say 25 to 30,000 bales, and it's time to get rid of your baler. Between 25 and 30,000 bales in a fleet like that still has enough value left in it for trade-in, and basically you never own a baler. What you do is you pay on it, you trade it in, you got a fresh one. I'm actually going to place an order for a baler. Messix doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to place an order for the new HDP for 2022. That's the plan. So I'm going to get through this year, and then spring of 2022, I'm going to have a brand new Krone HDP, the high density press, not the HDP2, but the 1290 HDP. If you go and you look up on Krone's website for the HDP, the new one, I think that baler will add probably 10 to 15% capacity to what I'm doing already. Just in the little things that it has, what they've updated on it. The VFS is completely updated on that thing, and I like the VFS. I really love the VFS. The problem with the VFS is that there's some wear parts in there that need to be replaced every 15 to 20,000 bales, and that's just a fact. It's really no different than the Packer forks on a Heston Massey Ferguson, or I don't know, John Deere or Kuhn Deere, what their Packer system is like. I know I ran one of the John Deeres, and I ran a Kuhn back in 2009, I think. I didn't run it. I actually was there on demonstration, and they're the same baler. John Deere just took and revamped changed the clothing on it and revamped the knotter system, and so it was double knots. And now you can buy the Kuhn in either double knot or single knot configurations. But there's wear parts on everything. The pickups on all other brands other than Krone, you have those cams, and they're every 10,000 bales you're replacing those cam rollers, and if you're not, you're looking for trouble. By the time you get to 12 to 15,000 bales, you're losing the roller ends. The rollers themselves are falling off. Why do I know this? Because I've done it already. I've been to this rodeo several times, and yeah, I know what those cam rollers are. So, yeah. But that's just the way it is. And for those of you that are saying, oh, you can make those parts, yes, I could. I could make these parts, okay? I think I mentioned somewhere that I bought, well, in the video that you're going to see here, I bought a mag drill, a Hogan mag drill. It was expensive. It's not a cheap piece of shit. Milwaukee is made in China. You can keep that. DeWalt is made in Mexico. You can keep that. But I bought a Hogan, which is made right here in the good old US of A. And the annular cutters, you can run bits to them, through them as well. There's certain sizes you can run. You can, as long as you have the right adapter, you can buy the chuck that goes on there, and everything is available through Hogan. Some of the sizes are not available through Hogan. You actually have to get them from Fane. I ended up with a Fane bit. Now, I think Fane is American as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I have pretty much pledged that I am not buying anything that's made in China. And I think that anybody that's watching this should really refrain from buying new stuff that's made in China, because the more that we buy from China, the less power we have here in the United States. And I know there's a lot of people that live in this country that don't give a rat's ass about this country, but I do, and I care. Yes, I run a German baler, okay, and I love the German baler. That is probably, it was painful to do it when I did it, but what else are you going to buy? A Heston, Massey Ferguson, good balers, nothing wrong with them, but I still think that I still think that Krone has an edge over Heston, Massey Ferguson anyway. But my fight is with China. It's not with Japan. It's not with Germany. It's not with England. It's with China, because the Chinese want to take us over, just so you know. And we have an idiot in office right now, and I'm touching politically. We got an idiot in office right now that would just love nothing more than to line his family's pockets with Chinese money and allow them to do whatever it is to us that they want to do. And that's just a fact. So if you don't believe me, well, I'm sorry. You just really need to wake up one of these days and realize that there's more to this life than what you see on TV. Anyway, I'll see you next time.